Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of the Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Southwest Virginia fishing report with Matt Reilly of Matt Reilly Fly Fishing. How's it going, Matt?
Pretty good, Marvin. How are you?
Just trying to stay out of trouble, been able to get out and fish a little bit, which has been pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking before we started recording, and I guess, it's summertime, right? And it's all about terrestrials, and that means cicadas for smallmouth and all sorts of other stuff for trout. What are you seeing in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, we've been seeing, a decent number of cicadas over the next couple, they're out all summer, but over the next couple of weeks, they'll become more and more important as they start dropping out of trees and becoming more present on the water and easy pickings for big fish. This time of year too, I mean, it's nice we were talking too, I think the hottest weather, at least in the highlands down here, is behind us. And we've had, days in the up on the mountains, in the 60s and 70s, and overnight, in the next couple of weeks, we'll start getting down pretty low in temperature. And that, I think, is part of why the sort of peak of the topwater smallmouth fishing happens in, like I say, mid-August to mid-September, because, the fish they start sensing that drop in temperature, that average drop in temperature, and, they got to start packing on some food and they start going at it. So this next, month, a month and a half will be, prime time for sure. And then, we do a bit of trout fishing through the summer, with terrestrials, like you said, being pretty important. And it's a fun sort of change of pace too, because it's some dry fly fishing that it's, when trout eat terrestrial insects, they're not really keyed in. It seems like most of the time they're not necessarily keyed in on any particular insect. They're feeding opportunistically. So you get some more, sort of aggressive takes, and you can get some big fish to come up, particularly if you have areas with grasshoppers around and some bigger bugs like that. So that's something we've been doing all summer, but it'll persist for really the next probably month and a half or so.
And is that the same thing for the trout that it is for the smallmouth? They really are starting to feel the days getting shorter and a little bit cooler, and they know that they can't pass up an easy meal?
I would like to say that that's true, but, at the same time, fish just don't like passing up easy food to begin with. And, when a terrestrial insect hits the water, most of the time they can't just hop up and get out. They're stuck in the surface film, and most of them aren't very good swimmers. So fish know that, they're easy pickings at that point. And that's, I drill it into my smallmouth clients all the time. That's one of the reasons why smallmouth take a long time to come up to a bug sometimes, is because they know it's there and they know they can get it, and they're not going to waste any calories going after it. But in a trout stream where the water's generally moving a little faster and fish are sitting in lies watching food passing by, when that bug splats on the water, they're going to go up and grab it pretty quick usually.
Got it. Any favorite patterns you want to share with us?
Nothing in particular. Important things to me are flies that you can see and flies that float. It's kind of an optimization thing. You don't want to be fishing a fly that you can't see, and then eventually the fly sinks and you can't see it, so you don't know it's sunk. And you want that fly to be on top. For the most part, I mean, sinking certain flies like ants and even grasshoppers and crickets, that works too, but you don't have as good a shot at seeing the take and that sort of thing. So, deer hair flies and foam flies, and then flies with, tip tail or bucktail siders on them, or foam siders, either way, those are definitely my favorite. But ants, crickets, inchworms, grasshoppers, all of those things are on the menu.
Got it. Well, that's really helpful. And folks, if you have a question for Matt, if you'll send it to us on the Articulate Fly Facebook page, if we read it, I'll hook you up with some Articulate Fly swag. And then at the end of the season, we're going to have a drawing, and if you win, you will get some discount coupons for Reilly rods and also some Matt Reilly original flies. Well, Matt, it's not a fishing report with you if we don't talk about your most recent or upcoming article in the Rural Virginian. What have you been working on?
Yeah, so this week, the one that's coming out is just sort of just like a little essay I threw together last week, talking about basically all the things that are going to happen in the next 2 months. Fall is one of my favorite times, and like I was saying, this time of year we start to get a little cooler and cool overnight. It kind of makes you think, fall and winter are right around the corner. But so much happens in fall that so many sporting opportunities, outdoor opportunities to be taken advantage of, and there's just not that much time. So I mean, the next once September rolls around, it's going to be squirrel season again. It's going to be deer season in another month, and we're going to have I've got some sort of hidden mountain apple stands I go after in the fall, and got brook trout fishing and brown trout fishing in the fall and winter, and all that stuff's going to be happening pretty quickly. And 2 months from now, we're going to be musky fishing again. So things are still pretty steady in summer patterns, but it's going to be fall's going to be here before we know it, and things are going to change quickly. So I'm trying to take some time to chill and kind of do some different things in October this year, but there's never enough time to do everything.
No, I couldn't agree more. And before I let you go, why don't you let us know where we can find you so people can book you and fish with you?
Yeah, the website's mattreillyflyfishing.com, and all my contact info is on there. Emails are great, phone calls are great, however you want to get in touch with me.
Well, that's great. I really appreciate it, Matt. Everybody, you need to get out on the water and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Matt.
Yeah, you too, Marvin.